Have you ever stopped to think why some people rise effortlessly from failure, uncertainty, and chaos, while others feel stuck in a cycle they can't escape? Society often tells us that heroes are flawless, fearless, and extraordinary, people who leap into danger without hesitation, save others, and always make the right choices. But real heroism doesn't live in movies or comic books, it lives inside each one of us, quietly waiting to be discovered. It is not about being perfect or immune to fear and doubt. True heroism is about confronting your limitations, embracing your flaws, and turning the energy of your struggles into growth. At the core of this process is understanding yourself, your mind, your desires, your fears, and the parts of yourself you tend to hide. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, showed that every person carries within them universal patterns called archetypes, and one of the most powerful of these is the hero. But the hero doesn't exist in isolation, it emerges through confronting the shadow, the hidden, unconscious part of our psyche filled with repressed emotions, fears, and traits we often deny. To awaken the hero within, we must first understand the dynamics of our mind, recognize the darkness we avoid, and integrate it into our conscious self. Only then can courage, resilience, and authentic self-mastery flourish. This is the journey we are about to embark on, exploring the psychology of heroism, learning to face our fears, understanding our shadows, and discovering the tools to become the true hero in our own lives. By the end, you will see that heroism isn't reserved for the extraordinary, it is the path of anyone willing to grow, reflect, and transform themselves. To truly awaken the hero within, the first step is understanding the architecture of your own mind. Carl Jung divided the human psyche into the conscious and the unconscious, revealing how much of our behavior, decisions, and emotional patterns are influenced by forces we are not fully aware of. The conscious mind is the part you actively engage with daily, the thoughts, decisions, and perceptions you notice in the moment. It is responsible for logical thinking, planning, and interacting with the world around you. However, beneath this conscious layer lies the vast realm of the unconscious mind, a hidden reservoir of experiences, memories, emotions, and desires that significantly shape your behavior. The unconscious itself can be divided into two critical layers, the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. The personal unconscious is like a storage room of your forgotten experiences, repressed memories, and internalized lessons that your conscious mind has chosen to push aside. These can include traumas, regrets, fears, or desires that you may not actively acknowledge but that influence your behavior, relationships, and self-perception. The collective unconscious, on the other hand, is a shared reservoir of human experience. It contains archetypes, universal symbols, themes, and patterns of behavior that recur across cultures and generations. The hero, the shadow, the mentor, and the trickster are examples of these archetypes. They influence not just literature or myth, but also your personal journey, guiding the choices you make and shaping your understanding of yourself. Recognizing these forces is crucial because it allows you to see patterns in your life, understand recurring challenges, and start consciously working with these energies rather than being unconsciously driven by them. Without this awareness, attempts at personal growth or heroism may remain surface level, as the real work of transformation happens in the depths of the unconscious mind. The hero archetype, according to Jung, is one of the most influential templates that guides personal transformation. Unlike fictional heroes, who often embark on literal adventures, the psychological hero represents the journey toward self-mastery, resilience, and authentic living. This archetype embodies qualities such as courage, determination, a desire for mastery, and the willingness to confront both external challenges and internal obstacles. Engaging with the hero archetype means recognizing your capacity to grow, learning to overcome fear, and understanding that true heroism is less about perfection and more about persistence in the face of adversity. In practical terms, the hero archetype manifests in everyday life through challenges that require bravery, whether it's tackling a difficult project, having a challenging conversation, pursuing a long-term dream, or confronting personal shortcomings. Individuals who naturally resonate with this archetype tend to actively seek growth, embrace challenges, and willingly face discomfort because they understand that mastery and resilience are forged through these experiences. However, even those who do not feel naturally heroic can cultivate this archetype through conscious choice. Every act of courage, no matter how small, reinforces the hero within, gradually transforming fear and uncertainty into strength and wisdom. Furthermore, the hero is intimately connected to the shadow, the part of ourselves that we often deny or fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the deliberate choice to act in spite of it. This is the defining feature of psychological heroism. It is proactive, reflective, and deeply internal. By consistently engaging with this archetype, you build resilience, self-confidence, and a clearer understanding of your purpose. It teaches you that heroism is not an external accolade but an internal evolution, rooted in awareness, conscious action, and the integration of all parts of yourself. This archetype becomes a roadmap, guiding you to transform challenges into lessons and obstacles into opportunities for growth. Fear is one of the most powerful forces shaping human behavior, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Many people interpret fear as a signal to avoid danger or discomfort, but Jungian philosophy teaches us that fear, when confronted consciously, becomes the catalyst for personal growth and self-mastery. Fear is not merely an obstacle, it is a message from your unconscious, signaling areas of vulnerability, unresolved trauma, or hidden potential waiting to be realized. Avoiding fear may provide temporary comfort, but it simultaneously reinforces limitations, keeping you trapped in patterns that prevent you from becoming the hero of your own life. Confronting fear requires a deliberate and methodical approach. Start by identifying the fears that influence your daily decisions. These could be fears of failure, rejection, judgment, or uncertainty. Once identified, the next step is active engagement. Rather than avoiding situations that trigger fear, create controlled environments where you can face it safely. For instance, if public speaking terrifies you, begin with small, low-pressure presentations before scaling up to larger audiences. If fear of failure holds you back from pursuing a passion project, break it into manageable steps and focus on consistent progress. Through this process, fear transforms from a paralyzing force into a teacher, revealing insights about your capabilities, resilience, and priorities. Importantly, confronting fear is also deeply tied to shadow work. Often, what we fear externally reflects internal conflicts, repressed emotions, self-doubt, or insecurities. By facing these fears head-on, you not only build courage but also uncover hidden aspects of your personality, enabling you to integrate them consciously. This is the essence of becoming a true hero. Every act of bravery strengthens your internal foundation, builds resilience, and deepens self-awareness. Over time, fear loses its grip, becoming a tool that guides rather than limits, and you begin to operate from a place of empowerment, authenticity, and conscious choice. To awaken the hero within, understanding and integrating your shadow is essential. The shadow represents the unconscious parts of ourselves that we often deny or hide, traits, desires, fears, and impulses that we consider unacceptable or negative. These can include anger, jealousy, selfishness, or even deep-seated insecurities. While it may feel uncomfortable or threatening to acknowledge these aspects, Jung taught that repression only amplifies their influence, subtly guiding your behavior and creating recurring patterns in life. Ignoring your shadow does not eliminate it, it merely operates behind the scenes, often manifesting as frustration, projection, or emotional outbursts that can seem unexplainable. Engaging in shadow work begins with honest self-reflection. You must observe your thoughts, behaviors, and emotional reactions without judgment, identifying moments when hidden traits influence your choices. For example, if you find yourself unusually irritated by someone's arrogance, it may reflect a part of your own personality that you have yet to recognize or accept. Tools such as journaling, meditation, or even artistic expression can help bring these hidden aspects into consciousness. By naming and understanding your shadow traits, you can begin to reclaim the energy previously spent on denial or suppression and redirect it toward personal growth. The transformative power of shadow work lies in integration rather than elimination. Each trait, no matter how uncomfortable, holds potential for growth when understood and channeled consciously. Anger can motivate assertiveness, laziness can indicate a need for rest or self-care, and fear can become a teacher of courage. Heroes are not fearless, they are aware of their shadows, accept them, and intentionally transform them into strengths. By confronting and integrating your shadow, you develop a deeper self-awareness, emotional resilience, and a capacity for authentic action. This is the crucible in which true heroism is forged. A hero is someone who dares to face their inner darkness, learn from it, and use it to fuel growth, wisdom, and self-mastery. True heroism is rooted in embracing the duality of human nature, the coexistence of light and dark, strength and weakness, courage and fear. Many modern self-help philosophies emphasize positivity, urging us to only think good thoughts or suppress negative emotions. Jungian psychology, however, teaches the opposite. Ignoring your inner darkness creates imbalance and limits personal growth. Without acknowledging your fears, insecurities, and repressed desires, you cannot fully access your strengths, creativity, or potential. Duality is not a flaw to be fixed, it is the foundation of balance and authenticity. Embracing duality begins with conscious acknowledgement. Recognize that both your positive and negative traits are integral to who you are. Courage cannot exist without fear, compassion cannot exist without understanding suffering, and generosity cannot thrive without recognizing boundaries. When you integrate these dual aspects, you develop a holistic perspective that allows you to navigate life's complexities with clarity and grace. For instance, accepting that moments of doubt or hesitation are natural can prevent impulsive decisions and foster thoughtful action. Similarly, recognizing self-interest or ambition within yourself does not make you selfish, it can drive focus, achievement, and the ability to contribute meaningfully to others. This process is not theoretical, it is practical and transformative. By living with awareness of your duality, you cultivate emotional intelligence, empathy, and resilience. You begin to see others not as one-dimensional obstacles or adversaries but as complex individuals shaped by their own light and darkness. This perspective fosters compassion, reduces reactive behavior, and enhances relationships. Integrating duality is also deeply connected to creative and strategic problem-solving. By understanding the full spectrum of human experience, you can anticipate challenges, navigate uncertainty, and act with greater clarity and purpose. Ultimately, embracing duality empowers you to live authentically, make conscious choices, and embody the hero within, a hero who is whole, resilient, and capable of transformation. The final step in awakening the hero within is individuation, Jung's concept of becoming your true, fully integrated self. Individuation is not about perfection or fitting societal expectations, it is about reclaiming all parts of yourself, including strengths, weaknesses, desires, and fears, and aligning them with conscious purpose. This process allows you to act authentically, make decisions from a grounded sense of self, and navigate life with clarity and intentionality. A truly heroic life is not measured by accolades or external achievements but by the courage to face yourself honestly and the commitment to grow continuously. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. Take stock of your recurring patterns, emotional triggers, and motivations. Observe how your conscious and unconscious mind influence your choices, and explore areas where your actions are driven by avoidance or denial. By identifying these patterns, you gain insight into the forces shaping your life and can begin to realign your behavior with your values and goals. Individuation also requires embracing your shadow, as previously discussed, because denying or suppressing parts of yourself creates fragmentation and limits your potential. By integrating all aspects of your psyche, you reclaim the energy previously spent on internal conflict and redirect it toward purposeful action. Living authentically also requires courage in the face of societal pressures. Many people conform to external expectations, sacrificing their individuality for approval or comfort. The hero, however, chooses the path of self-mastery over external validation. This means making decisions that honor your values, expressing yourself honestly, and pursuing a life aligned with your true purpose. Individuation is a lifelong process, demanding reflection, courage, and consistency. Yet, through this journey, you cultivate resilience, creativity, empathy, and wisdom. You become a hero not by defeating external enemies but by mastering yourself, integrating your darkness, embracing duality, and living fully as the person you were meant to be. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and heroism. Without taking the time to consciously examine your actions, choices, and emotional reactions, it is easy to repeat patterns that limit your potential. Jung emphasized the importance of introspection. By turning inward, we can uncover unconscious motivations, recognize recurring challenges, and make deliberate choices that align with our authentic self. Reflection is not just remembering the past, it is analyzing it with honesty and clarity, extracting lessons, and applying them to your present and future. The process begins with asking the right questions. Consider moments where you acted in ways that surprised or disappointed yourself. What triggered those reactions? Were they influenced by unresolved fears, social conditioning, or unacknowledged desires? By exploring these questions, you bring unconscious patterns to light, allowing you to reclaim control over your behavior. Journaling, meditation, and contemplative exercises are practical tools that facilitate this process. They create space for self-awareness, helping you identify areas where your shadow may be influencing your decisions or limiting your growth. Reflection also strengthens emotional intelligence. When you analyze your interactions with others, you develop a deeper understanding of how your behavior impacts relationships and outcomes. This self-awareness fosters empathy, reduces reactive tendencies, and allows for more deliberate communication. Heroes are not defined by flawless behavior, they are defined by their capacity to learn, adapt, and grow from experience. By consistently engaging in reflective practices, you build resilience, gain clarity, and develop the wisdom to navigate life's complexities. In essence, reflection transforms everyday experiences into lessons of courage, self-mastery, and authentic growth, forming an essential part of the hero's journey within. Insight alone is not enough to awaken the hero within. Real transformation occurs when understanding is paired with courageous action. Jungian philosophy emphasizes that the hero is someone who not only knows themselves deeply but also acts in alignment with that self-knowledge. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the deliberate choice to move forward despite fear, uncertainty, or discomfort. Every act of bravery, whether facing a difficult conversation, pursuing a passion project, or confronting internal limitations, strengthens the hero archetype within you. Courageous action requires breaking inertia and stepping out of comfort zones. Many individuals spend their lives understanding their strengths and weaknesses intellectually but fail to translate that knowledge into tangible change. The hero recognizes that reflection and shadow work are preparatory steps, not endpoints. By taking deliberate steps aligned with personal growth, you begin to reshape your life, overcoming obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. This process also reinforces resilience. Each challenge faced and conquered provides evidence of your capacity to navigate uncertainty, deepening confidence and self-trust. Importantly, courageous action is deeply intertwined with authenticity. Acting without awareness or ignoring your shadow can lead to impulsivity, misalignment, and unintended consequences. Heroes act from a place of integrated self-awareness, ensuring that decisions reflect conscious values rather than unconscious drives. Over time, consistent courageous action transforms patterns, strengthens character, and cultivates a life of purpose. It is the bridge between potential and reality, the moment when internal mastery manifests outwardly, and the hero begins to shape their world with intentionality, wisdom, and integrity. A hero is not only defined by personal mastery but also by their ability to relate to others with understanding and compassion. Jung emphasized that knowing your own darkness equips you to navigate the darkness in others. Many conflicts arise because individuals project their unacknowledged fears, insecurities, or desires onto those around them. By developing self-awareness through shadow work, reflection, and courageous action, you cultivate empathy, a critical component of effective human connection. Empathy allows heroes to move beyond judgment and approach relationships with insight and compassion. It is the capacity to see the complexities of human behavior and recognize that flaws, mistakes, and struggles are universal. This perspective transforms interactions, enabling constructive communication, conflict resolution, and the ability to guide, support, or inspire others without imposing control or creating resentment. In professional, personal, or creative contexts, empathy fosters collaboration, innovation, and meaningful connection, which are hallmarks of modern heroism. Furthermore, understanding others' struggles mirrors your own path of self-discovery. Recognizing shared human challenges reduces isolation and fosters a sense of community. It teaches that heroism is not about dominance or perfection but about presence, awareness, and influence grounded in integrity and insight. When you act with empathy, you extend the lessons learned from personal growth into the social sphere, becoming a force of positive transformation. This creates a ripple effect, where self-mastery not only enhances your own life but inspires and uplifts those around you, fulfilling the broader purpose of the hero archetype, to navigate life with courage, wisdom, and compassion while connecting meaningfully with the world. The ultimate step in becoming the hero of your own life is integration, bringing together all aspects of yourself, including your conscious awareness, unconscious shadow, duality of light and dark, and the lessons learned through reflection and courageous action. Jungian philosophy emphasizes that personal mastery is not achieved by denying parts of yourself but by fully understanding and consciously integrating them. Every thought, emotion, trait, or impulse holds valuable information about who you are and how you interact with the world. By recognizing and harmonizing these elements, you cultivate balance, resilience, and a profound sense of purpose. Integration begins with acknowledgement, accepting that your shadow exists, that fear and doubt are natural, and that light and dark coexist within you. This acceptance does not mean indulgence in negative tendencies, rather, it is the conscious decision to understand, channel, and transform them. For instance, anger can be redirected toward advocacy or problem-solving, fear can serve as a guide to meaningful challenges, and ambition can be tempered with empathy. By integrating these aspects, you transform internal conflict into coherent energy, enabling intentional action and strategic decision-making. Moreover, integration connects your internal growth with external influence. A fully integrated individual operates from a foundation of authenticity and self-awareness, which naturally enhances relationships, leadership, and creativity. Challenges no longer feel paralyzing because they are approached with a nuanced understanding of self and others. This stage of mastery is where the hero archetype fully manifests. Courage, insight, empathy, and purpose converge, allowing you to navigate life with clarity and authority. True heroism, therefore, is not about perfection but about coherent integration of all internal forces, creating a life of wisdom, resilience, and authentic power. Becoming the hero within is incomplete without aligning your growth with purpose. Jung emphasized that the development of the self is inseparable from the pursuit of meaningful goals that resonate with your authentic nature. Purpose acts as a compass, guiding your energy, attention, and actions in ways that create tangible impact and inner fulfillment. Without a clear purpose, even integrated knowledge of yourself can remain abstract, limiting the transformative potential of heroism. Purpose bridges the gap between self-mastery and contribution, turning internal evolution into outward expression. Discovering your purpose requires introspection and alignment with your deepest values and natural tendencies. Reflect on your passions, the challenges that energize you, and the areas where your skills and experiences intersect with opportunities to create value. Purpose is often revealed through repeated engagement with activities that feel meaningful, even when they demand effort, discomfort, or risk. When your actions are guided by purpose, courage becomes sustainable, shadow integration gains context, and reflection acquires direction. Purpose is what transforms ordinary growth into heroic action. It allows your strengths, insights, and resilience to serve not only yourself but also the world around you. Purpose-driven heroism also cultivates motivation and perseverance. Even in the face of setbacks, fear, or criticism, clarity of purpose provides focus and resilience. It aligns internal energy with external action, ensuring that your evolution as a hero has both personal significance and meaningful impact. In essence, integrating purpose completes the psychological framework of heroism. Self-knowledge, shadow work, duality awareness, courageous action, and social empathy are all directed toward living a life that matters. The hero is not only someone who masters themselves but also someone who channels that mastery toward meaningful contribution. The final stage of the journey is the full embodiment of heroism, living as your authentic self while navigating the complexities of life with awareness, courage, and compassion. Jung called this process individuation, the lifelong pursuit of becoming the person you were always meant to be. It is not about living according to societal expectations or external definitions of success, but about aligning with your unique nature, integrating all aspects of your psyche, and consciously directing your life toward growth, purpose, and meaningful connection. Becoming the hero requires continuous self-awareness and reflection. Challenges will always arise, and fear will never fully disappear. However, by embracing your shadow, understanding duality, reflecting on experience, acting courageously, cultivating empathy, and integrating all insights, you consistently strengthen your internal foundation. This journey transforms ordinary obstacles into opportunities for growth, setbacks into lessons, and internal conflicts into wisdom. It also allows you to approach others with understanding, bridging personal mastery with social contribution. Ultimately, heroism is about transformation. Every act of self-awareness, courage, and purpose-driven action shapes you into a more complete, resilient, and impactful individual. The hero exists not in perfection, accolades, or external validation, but in the ability to master oneself while contributing meaningfully to the world. By committing to this lifelong journey, you step fully into your potential, embodying authenticity, wisdom, and courage. The hero's journey is not a destination, it is a continuous evolution, and each step you take toward integration, awareness, and purposeful action brings you closer to the ultimate reward, becoming the truest version of yourself.